Hey guys, Coach Daniel, Hammer at Tennis, and today we're coming to you from the Hammer at Tennis home gym. And everybody knows in today's game that fitness is just as important as technique and stroke and strategy. If you don't have the fitness to go with your game, you're going to hurt, you're going to suffer, and you're going to lose more matches. So everybody's trying to get more fit, they're trying to get stronger and faster. And so our friends over at NSDSpinner, they reached out and they sent me a couple of their gyroscope training balls. And so what these do, these are to help strengthen your grip, your forearm, and I think maybe some other muscles as well. But they reached out and they sent us some of these for us to take a look at, for me to look at here, and to see how that they can help you improve your game. And so we're going to take a closer look here. We're going to unbox this and we're going to give it a try and see what we think. So let's get to it. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and take a closer look here. This is the NSDSpinner. This is the Titan model. And so if we take a look here even at the packaging, so it says there's 50 pound in torque at 10,000 RPMs. The solid zinc rotating motor, adding weight and angular momentum to help you build strong muscles in your forearm and wrist faster. Has an auto start, enhanced stability control system, massive power delivered precisely, impact resistant design, and it has a performance display. So it says this is an exercise machine that you can take anywhere, and so that's one thing. It's not real heavy, so it doesn't seem, just to hold it, it's not very heavy, but that's not how these things work. So I did a little bit of research on them, and the gyroscoping effect, it has a gyroscope effect, so it makes it hard to move. So let's go ahead and let's open this up here. And so the packaging is really nice on this. All right, so if we open it up here, we have inside, looks like a little, looks like we've got a instruction type manual here, and so it's going to tell us how to get it started, and it tells us about the display that is on the ball, and then some tips on operating the spinner. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull this out, and again, the packaging is very nice on this. It comes in this very solid plastic container here. It looks like that would be great for carrying around if you don't want to get it too dusty. Just kind of clicks apart. And so the actual ball itself is it's made out of metal, and then it has this rubber band around it, and so it's got a display here, and then the ball itself. And so I did read some reviews when they told me they were going to send this to me. I did read some reviews, and one of the couple of reviews that I had read said that it didn't spin, they couldn't get it to spin very long. Let's see, so you wind it up, so you go like this to wind it up, and you keep winding and winding, kind of alternating your thumbs there until it stops. And then once it stops, you're going to want to hold it in the other hand, release. Now I can already feel that spinning pretty quickly there. But what it says here in the tips, it says if you circle your hand kind of like you're using your hand to spin ice in a glass. And so when you do that, you can feel the ball, it kind of speeding up, and you can feel it starting to spin, and you can even hear it. And you can see there how the ball's spinning. And now the display's kicked on, and so it's telling me different stuff. And so now it's slowing down because I didn't keep it going. So the display's kicked off there. So I'm going to wind it up here. I'm going to see, and I think what has happened here, because like I said, some of those reviews I was reading, people were saying that they couldn't keep it, that it didn't spin very long. It's not that the ball itself is supposed to spin. The exercise to this, I think where this is going to be really beneficial for you guys, is it's the motion of you making the ball spin. And once you really kick that up to speed, you can see it wiggling there, like it's wanting to jump around, and so my hands, like I'm bearing down on that. And so again, now I can see the display is running. All right, so I'm gonna work with this for a few minutes here, and let's see how fast we can get this going. I'm gonna show you guys a few exercises I think that we can do with this that are gonna help you out and help your wrist and your forearm get a little bit stronger here. And so let's take a look at what we can do with this thing. All right guys, so I took a minute here to kind of familiarize myself with the spinner ball. And so a couple of the things it does, so on my functions here, so I can push the functions button, and it's gonna rotate me between the revolutions, my top speed. It's got a speed counter, so it displays the current speed, and then physical strength index counter, which is going to display number of revolutions within 30, 60, or 90-second intervals. So one of the things here I'm going to show you guys too is just, to get this started, this is not one of those where you have to put a string in and then pull the string really hard. You wind it up, and so the key is after you wind this up, this is not something that you just wind up, let it go, and then hold it. That's not really where this comes into play. What you have to do is you have to move after it gets going. And so they say it's like you're spinning a cup of ice, and so you're slinging that ice cube around, and when you do that, you can really feel this top part of my hand really engage. And then my grip is engaging because that ball is wanting to spin around. There's another axis in there, and so you're fighting the movement of this ball, and so that gyroscope effect gets to be really powerful. That's one way that you can do this. You can do it, and you kind of swirl your wrist, and when you do that, you can feel all through your forearm. You can feel those muscles being engaged in that. I can also do it with my left hand. My left hand isn't quite as coordinated, so I can tell if I work with this, it's going to help that coordination in my left arm. And I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but it's starting to speed up pretty good. The other thing I've noticed is if I kind of circle my arm, I can kind of time it, and I can really get this ball to start spinning. Again though, I got to grab a little bit better than my grip. I have to increase my grip strength. And so when I do this, I'm starting to feel it even up into my shoulder. And so the bigger of a circle that I make with this, the more I'm engaging my shoulder arm. And so again, this is, I think this is a good exercise, and this is a good piece of equipment. This is a good tool for you if you don't want to have to lift a super heavy weight to try to train your shoulder. And that's an area that we can get into trouble is if we start to do too much, you're going to hurt your arm. And so if you start lifting weights that are too heavy, you're going to hurt your arm. This is not a super heavy weight, but it feels, that resistance feels like you're using a heavy weight. And just doing this, my arm, I'm getting pretty fatigued, and I can really feel that. The other thing I like about this is it's got this rubber band where you can hold, so it's not very slick. It seems very sturdy. It seems very well made. And so if anybody says the ball, it doesn't spin, the ball inside doesn't spin very long, the problem is that they're not spinning it. That's part of how to keep this working, is you have to engage in spinning it. And so after doing that, and even just for the few minutes I've been working on this, I'm already pretty tired. I can really feel that through here, my whole arm. I can really feel it in my hand. And so it just depends on how you're going to use it. And so I do like that it has these functions that can tell you your top speeds. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to wind this up again. And so again, it's really easy to wind up. You just alternate your thumbs and let go. Using it with my left arm is a little trickier for me, just because I'm trying to get that coordination down. But again, I feel like if I keep working with this, it's going to help my coordination in my left arm. And so if I want to look at, say, our top speed, so far I've got over 4,200 RPMs. I don't know. I can probably make it go faster if I really try, and also if I use my right arm. And it's kind of a timing thing. You can feel it kind of kick in, and you can feel when to do that. So again, my hands, I mean, I can really feel that strength burn in there. So, you know, I think this is something that you guys can utilize at home, in your office. You can put this in your bag. It's not much bigger than a tennis ball. It doesn't weigh, on its own, it doesn't weigh very much, but it's going to provide a lot of resistance. It's going to be a great warm-up out on the court. This is something you can do to warm up. You know, I wouldn't recommend necessarily doing this every day for hours on day, you know, if you've got tennis elbow, but this is definitely something that's going to help strengthen your forearm, hopefully prevent tennis elbow. We talk about too in the hammer it method how using the leverage, and we're not just using that brute arm strength, that's also going to help you prevent tennis elbow. And so this is another tool of just staying stronger, which is going to help you be more fit. This is going to help you win more matches. So go ahead and check these guys out, NSDSpinner.com. I think this is a good thing. Like I said, they reached out and wanted me to look into these. I think this is something that definitely you guys could use, that's going to help make you guys stronger, which is going to help you win more matches. And so I'm Coach Daniel for Hammer Tennis, so until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.